life, I've been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Almost caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1. Find out who or what is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2. Make it sorry it ever tried.
A man paces back and forth, puffing anxiously on a pipe. His face is creased with tiredness. The faint coppery hue of dried blood stains his hands. He sees you.
If you're looking for healing or the like, then you'd best look elsewhere. My plate is full for now.
The man chomps on the bit of his pipe, generating a small cloud of nervous smoke. Finally, he plucks it from his mouth and clears his throat.
I came by a new patient, a young woman, very troubled. I'll do what I can for her, but I'll need to concentrate. And that means...
He gestures with his pipe for you to leave.
I'm still trying to figure that out. She seems afflicted with some sort of rabidness. It makes her difficult to approach and nigh on impossible to treat. I had no choice but to lock her in my cellar, for her safety and my own. This isn't someone with a broken leg who needs to be held still. This is serious and dangerous. I doubt you could help. Oh, fine. You can help. Take this key and go to the cellar. I'll join you there. Just be careful. I wasn't jesting before. She was already a powerful sorcerer by the looks of things. But whatever it is that's happened to her, it's left her dangerous. Be ready to flee, if necessary.
Across the cellar, a shape bearing some resemblance to a woman lurches around to face you. It utters a marrow-curdling gurgle.
She senses us. Be calm and quiet. No sudden moves. Be careful. If you alert her, she'll...
Another gurgle, sharper, angrier. Then the sound of rapid footfalls rushing towards you.
Gods must be in a bad humor to let this happen to her.
He fishes out his pipe and tries to spark it alight with some flint. His trembling hands make it difficult work. He shoves the pipe back in his pocket.
To hell with the gods. I'm going to see what I can learn from this poor girl before I give her a proper burial. Maybe it'll help me save the next one. Well...
He rolls up his sleeves and produces a surgeon's knife.
Only one way to find out. Leave me be now. I have work to do. It's a shame that poor girl couldn't be saved. But at least I've learned what happened to her. Some sort of maggot was planted inside her skull. It was twisting her mind, warping her body. Oh, I can't fathom how someone could do that to another person. I'm going to get back to my usual work now. Maybe it'll help me take my mind off things. If you're after a healing or a spot of trade, my door's always open.
Looks like this place has seen better days. Much better days.
Gareth toils in monotony. Gareth freezes, then whips his head in your direction. That face. No longer unreadable and red-hot, he rises up, imperious and indignant.
How dare you! How dare you! I'm forced to dig my murdered parents' graves to watch the soil cover them little by little, and a clown wanders in to dance on them. Can a godwoken be this daft? Or are you just that callous?
His breaths are loud and fast, like a charging bull's. Gareth's furious breaths first quicken, then slow. His cheeks go from red to pink. His jaw stays clenched, however. His anger may be diminished, but it hasn't retreated.
I know, or at least I hope, that you will only want to lighten my load. But please, show some respect. If not for me, then at least for them. I've seen Seeker's blood seeping into the sand. I waded through corpses on the deck of the Lady Vengeance. But when the lifeless eyes looking back at you are your own mother's, I just didn't know. I didn't know what darkness lied beyond pain. Now, well, now I do. Dallas's pets. Such helpful tools they are, too. The abominations do the dirty work and the whites keep their robes clean. Convenient. They're still there, spreading their rancid smell through the house. Paladins came to clean up the mess. In the name of Lucian, they say, and they seem to believe it.
Gareth's face reddens again. His jaws clench so tightly that his lips purse outwards into a frightful sneer. His voice is a whip, threatening to punish anyone or anything that draws too near.
I'm the one who has prayed. An endless litany. How many pleas does it take? How many tears do I have to shed? How much must I lose for the gods to listen?
Gareth forcefully exhales and looks past you to the nearby house. You fear he might snap the shovel's handle in two.
I've got no use for empty platitudes. Not for some possessed prankster chosen as the Seven's special pet.
You swear you hear Gareth's pulse, galloping faster than a saddled mount. You've never heard such a thing before, but you suspect Gareth's heart is close to tearing.
If you want to help, then you find the craven wight that ordered their slaughter. Anyone that stands between you and truth, no matter the flag they fly or creed they follow, make them bleed!
His clenched jaw tightens further, and then, in an instant, Gareth's guard is broken. Tears well in his eyes. With every blink, a pearl of grief falls to his cheeks.
My parents, they did nothing to deserve this. They were good. Honest. More honest than me. I'd give my own life to bring them back. I never got that last chance to tell them I loved them. I never got to say goodbye. You're right. There's nothing more to be done here. Lucian, forgive me. And please, Godwoken, please forgive me too.
The two paladins Gareth mentioned are arguing in front of the door to the modest farmstead. As they notice your arrival, they stop talking and look at you quizzically.
We're guarding this house. Wise to stay well back. There's a bunch of silent monks inside who've tasted blood today. Already killed in there, so they did. They didn't kill anybody. The magisters who control them did. You know Donna, she wouldn't hurt a fly. Not until they turned her. But they did turn her. And now she's not Donna anymore. Get it through your head. The poor creature should be put down. No, wait! Surely, maybe someday they can be fixed. When all this source nonsense is over.
The other paladin rolls his eyes and shakes his head as he turns to face you.
In any event, it's our business, not yours. You just stay well away from the door and you'll be perfectly safe. We're guarding it. And believe me, you don't want to go in there. There's a bunch of silent monks inside who've tasted blood today. Already killed in there, so they did. Here, take the key and in you go. We're not going to lay down our lives for some silent monks. But, fine.
Emaciated of body and spirit, this silent monk stands straighter than the others, the remnants of military bearing clear in her posture. This must be Donna, the one spoken of by the paladins guarding the door. She gives no indication at all that she has heard you, save for a single tear dripping from one eye. The lumpen silent monk stands like a pillar of decaying flesh, so still it seems he is not even breathing. All of a sudden, like a bellows, he exhales a fetid gust right into your face. The stench of rot shrouds you, coating you in a way you fear will never truly be washed away. This dwarven monk hangs his head, as if looking down at his feet. A wretched gurgling noise issues from him. Staring down into his face, you realize you were staring into mutilation. He has no eyes, his empty sockets crawling with blood maggots. The gurgling sound comes from his stitched mouth, though no meaning can be understood. The silent monk looks like she was only recently converted. Her face was clearly beautiful once, and the eyes looking at you are not yet the full fuligin black of other silent monks you have seen. One of her hands trembles. Twitching, it reaches out to you. Her hand is cold and smooth, like that of a porcelain doll. Jerkily, as if unused to movement, she strokes your hand gently and looks into your eyes. Her lips part and her mouth moves. Did she whisper, "Save me," or "Slay me"? Or did you only hear what you wanted to hear in the whispers of the wind? Slipping your hand free from hers, you back away and leave her standing there. Her arm remains outstretched, stroking, as if you were still right there beside her.
May Gareth always choose the right path. Nothing we didn't see coming. We always knew Gareth was fated for greatness. As a boy, he'd leap through the fields with wooden sword in hand, slaying imaginary demons, protecting us from whatever evil he would dream up. We also knew that good men make enemies. We knew evil would come, and so it did. Not as a demon or as a witch, but as a man Gareth once knew as a friend. Jonathan. He watched eagerly as those shambling husks descended. It seemed like a game to him, like theatre. We would never blame Gareth. The righteous always pay a price. May the Seven will it, he will always be the hero we know him to be.
She nods.
The truth can be difficult. We all want to believe in each other. It's what separates us from the void. It's what makes our existence worthwhile. It's what we do next that defines us. We can respond with treachery, or we can rise above. I trust that you will. Gareth did his duty. We felt it was only right that we did ours. The farm was always a safe space for sorcerers needing refuge. They deserved a haven, and so we gave them one. Our guests were usually frightened, shy, grateful. They never used their source, so the Voidwoken never came. The last one, though, she wasn't like the others. A lizard named Hanag. We housed her and fed her. Robes like a wizard's, voice like a queen's. Voidwoken appeared before long, and paladins after that. She clearly drew the Magister's attentions. Our fates were written. I never thought she meant to do us wrong. I don't blame her for fleeing to the Cloister Wood. I worry for her.
Everything is very dark all of a sudden. Going to be grim?
You sense a blur of movement to your side. Before you can react, there's a blade under your chin and a slim, pale hand upon your weapon. A voice whispers in your ear with a breathy purr.
A guest? How brazen of you to enter without knocking.
The press of the blade encourages you further into the room, then retreats. You turn to face a woman in black ring robes. She's pale and vividly beautiful, wearing a smile that's somewhere between impish and cruel.
Perhaps I'll give you a chance to explain yourself.
She lowers her weapon and gives you a curious look. Not because of your response, though. She's noticed something.
You're no ordinary traveler, are you? You positively reek of sauce. Are you the one responsible for this mayhem surrounding us? Like recognizes like. The Black Ring had great uses for my powers. But those powers aren't enough to help us escape this place.
She gestures to where a young magister is propped up on a cot in the corner. He's ashen and dazed, his shoulder bound in layers of crimson-soaked wound dressings.
This is Mahali. We absconded together. I from the Black Ring and he from the Magisters. We fell for each other while I was his prisoner. Love will set you free. You look like someone who wouldn't turn down a good thing when it comes to them. How about a little deal? You help us, and I'll show you how to make true use of Source. Mahali put himself at great risk to free me from Magister captivity. We made it clear, but he picked up quite a nasty wound. We found refuge in this charming hamlet. But then, well, I'm sure you saw for yourself. The landscape tore itself open, Voidwoken appeared, and a shroud of decay fell over us. It's preventing Mahali's wounds from healing. So, now we must escape this place. Or else remove the decaying shroud so Mahali can heal. Help us, and I'll help you. Driftwood has far too many Magisters for my liking. I fell for one of them, not all of them. Besides, I asked for help, not directions. That's my price, if you want to see what I have to offer. Thank you. Please, clear the way so that we can head south in the direction of the coast. The north is too dangerous. It crawls with Voidwoken. Once you've helped Mahali and I pass freely, once we're truly clear, I'll give you what you want.
Her eyes speak volumes.
All that you want. Wise, perhaps. Its effects seem to be stronger to the north. I'd start looking there.
The farm's gone. The farm's gone. And everyone inside it. I wonder if them strangers made it. I sure hope so. I hope so. End times, I think. I think this is it. I think this is it for us all. I think these are the end times. There was a couple staying in my place. Young folks. Sweet folks. Hiding from the Reds. But then came the end. I wonder if they made it. I wonder if they made it.
Don't worry. I'll keep watch. You promise much, sorcerer. But can you deliver on any of it? Well then, let's make... Lead Nahali on. I will follow. Don't let anything happen to him, dear, or I will hold you accountable. You are truly marvelous out there, my dear. We'd never have made it without you.
She slinks forward until her face is mere inches from your own.
I owe you a debt. But I already know what you desire. And I intend to pay in full. Right now. Tell me, do you know exactly what I am? Not quite, my dear. Not quite. I am a succubus. Love is my power. It enthralls those who I seduce and feeds me yet more power. It is through this aspect of myself that I must reward you.
You realize that her hand is caressing your arm. She gazes at you intently. Her eyes are oceans of violet. You could drown in them.
You have my word, though. I will not use my powers to make you my thrall. Just as I hope you won't use what I show you to become some sort of tyrant.
She grins devilishly and pulls you close.
Let's see what you're made of.
She kisses you. Suddenly she's all blinding light and come hither heat. Her heat enters you, thrust upon thrust, until she scalds, and with a scream, her nails digging for blood, all becomes an echo of the primal soul, a burst of overwhelming light. Slowly the heat abates as she releases you with a kiss. Your vision swims back into view, Almira observing you with a knowing smile.
A lesson worth learning, was it not? Once you've caught your breath, I actually have another little request for you. You have helped me to escape immediate danger, but I remain a fugitive from my old life and the promises I made to it. The Black Ring swear allegiance to a powerful being, the God King. This is not a mere oath of duty, this is the Covenant. And those who accept it are bound to the God King. They are sworn. I am sworn. You have to understand, Lucien's deathfall broke us. We were left defeated, leaderless. And then the God King started to speak to us. He offered victory, immortality, anything we desired in exchange for loyalty. How could we refuse? Once you are sworn, there is no escape. Your life is the God King's. Fail or betray him, and you are doomed. Unless you find a way to break the Covenant. I discovered the existence of ancient implements called sworn breakers. They are rumored to be able to break any magical pact, including the Covenant. And while enslaved by the Magisters, I noticed a tablet in their excavation site in the Black Pits. It bore markings that looked very similar to how these sworn breakers were described to me.
She smiles, fixing those violet eyes upon you once again.
Will you retrieve it for me? Who needs thralls when I have selfless acquaintances such as yourself? By the by, a black little birdie told me you've a ship along the shore. That is where we'll go. Enjoy a bit of sun while we wait.
Incredible. I've never felt so alive.
You feel newfound powers of the Source course wildly through your body. Deep inside your soul, a voice calls for you. It would be wise to meet with your god again by performing the Meister's ritual, here or in Siva's vault. The Meister sits slumped in her chair. You notice that some of her scales have dropped to the floor.
What news? Can you channel enough source? Are you powerful enough to proceed? Of course, my supply has rather gone up in smoke. You can find more in the cloister woods to the northwest of Driftwood. Hardly a charming place, but it grows nowhere else. Then why, pray tell, are you wasting both my time and your own? Go!